Hi, it's Mike again. Welcome back to the train room. I have the Sunset Models third rail C&O 490 on the track ready to run. So let's talk about a little bit of the history first. So Chesapeake and Ohio number 490 is the sole surviving L1 class 464 Hudson type steam locomotive. Alco Richmond Works built in the 1926 the first locomotives like this as a F-19 class 462 Pacific. Then they were sent back and rebuilt in 1947 and streamlined and made into a 464 for the C&O chassis streamliner. So after the chassis was canceled, in 1953, it spent several years in storage in Huntington, West Virginia, until 1968, when it was donated to the B&O Railroad Museum in Baltimore, Maryland, and it remains a static display right now. You can go check it out. So enough about the history of the locomotive. Let's talk a little bit about how I've set this locomotive up first, and then we'll go into some of the details on it. So this is equipped with TMCC, and it is very good for the conventional runner as well. So you have the ability to select 2 chuffs or 4 chuffs per revolution when you're running, TMCC or conventional. You do have speed control on and off. If you're in TMCC mode, it is automatically on. You don't have to select it on the switch. But if you're running conventional, there's a switch underneath the cab for the cruise on and off. And then you have the 2 and 4 chuff selection underneath the cab. And I've gone ahead and I like to set it up in 2 chuffs per revolution. So I've done that. So for you TMCC runners, there's some different programming you can do. It doesn't have as many speed steps as Legacy, but you do have some selectable speed steps in here. So I've gone ahead and followed the directions for the 100 step speed control. And I do have the speed control turned on so that it maintains speed up and down the grades on my layout here. Another good thing to know is that in the back you still have your program run switch and volume up and down, really easily accessible for those TMCC runners out there. And let me close up all these hatches. So that's what I have around setting up the locomotive. Your standard, add 15 to 20 drops of smoke fluid on your running the locomotive so you don't burn up the smoke unit if it's turned on. Here's all the command controls for it. So you can see you can turn the smoke off by aux 8, and you can turn the smoke on by aux 9. You have basic controls of volume up and down. You have some tower communications, and they're still using the older electronics as far as the announcement boards and stuff, which I'm cool with. I don't do that a whole lot anyway. I just like to watch the train run. One thing I will say is with the 100 step speed control, it tends to respond better when I run the locomotive in cab 1 than in TMCC on the Legacy remote. So if I select cab 1, rail sounds 5, and the control on the locomotive low speed run is a lot better. Doesn't surge. So details, front pilot area, outstanding. And you notice the door here for the scale coupler is even off center, similar to the real one. And there's your scale coupler that comes right out. I love the 490 on the front with the step there. Definitely love the dual headlight, very sharp. And then the backlit number boards with the amber color lights on the side. Boiler detail, plenty of rivets for the rivet counters. Good hatches. I was surprised none of these hatches open. That seems to be their trademark. But no opening hatches. You do have a couple detail handles on the top there. The cab vent door does open and close. Then if you look at the side of it, I love the rail. And look at the detail they put on the end of the rail here. They could have just left that a regular piece of wire, but they put nice detail on each side of the rail, and I love that. Just the extra little stuff that goes a long way. Then, you know, even on the bottom of the chambers here, you've got detail. And obviously it's a 4 6 4, and lots of detail on the cab truck, under the cab. So you'll notice immediately that there is the gap between the cab and the tender is just awesome. I mean, it's not a big gap. There's your drawbar there, so very realistic. You have the plate here. You have the curtains, and look what they've added detail-wise, if we can get to it. Do you see the backlit gauges inside the cab? New. So there's a light in there, and it has backlit gauges. Coal load for the coal. Very detailed. Love it. You have some valves on the tender with some detail. Very good trucks. You have chains hanging down on the trucks. Look at the springs, toolboxes. I mean, just great job. And on back of the tender, detail does not disappoint. Then I showed you the hatches already, and I think we're ready to go for a run. I've paired my chassis cars from my chassis steam turbine with this. So I have 4 of the cars on the track that I had on the shelf already. And the color comes pretty close on the stripe. They're a little bit towards the orange side versus the yellow on the engine, but it'll work until my third rail cars come in. So we're gonna run 4 cars behind this locomotive. Then let me move my book here, and let me fire up the locomotive. We'll go ahead and listen to the horn, or whistle I should say. And we've got the smoke unit on, bell.
How's that track look? Are we clear? Over. Dispatcher here. You're cleared onto the main. Over.
Some basic announcements.
Roger that. All clear. Out.
And let's get underway. Engine still is tight. It's not broken in yet. You can tell because once you put about an hour on it, the third rails really loosen up and start running well. take a walk around over here. See the cab lights. And that is the C&O Streamlined Hudson 490. Well, hope you enjoyed the review. I know every once in a while I stutter over my words a little bit, or stumble I should say, but you know, we're just having some fun here, trying to talk to you guys like if you were right here in my train room with me. I often have guests over, and you know, we talk about a lot of trains and run some trains, so want to try to deliver that same experience, even though many of you are far, far away from St. Louis, Missouri. This YouTube channel brings us all a lot closer. So, you know, click subscribe. Never know what I'll be posting next, whether it's working on the layout, you know, on the hunt and buying something, or working on a broken locomotive, or, you know, checking out one of my friends' layouts and posting something about that. So thanks for checking out my channel, and I will talk to you soon. See ya.